Hi, this is Eric Hurd, Class CO101. This is my that's a big word, demonstrative speech. And I'm going to do a demonstrative speech on something that I hold near and dear to me and that I have dealt with pretty much all my life. I've taught my son everything about this subject. I've taught my wife as much as she cared to listen to about this subject. And anyone that knows me, been around me, they know that how much I pretty much love this particular subject. So I'm going to get to the nitty-gritty of this subject. This subject is about handguns and rifles. I have been an owner of handguns and rifles ever since I got out of the military at 24. And in that time I've had over, oh my God, I would say 120 to 125 handguns and rifles. My older age, all the bones begin to creak and the joints ain't what they used to, so handling these weapons is kind of tough on me now. And I just got out of a bad shoulder surgery, so I really can't even pull a slide back on some of my weapons. So I just don't try to carry them anymore until I get a stronger arm. But the first weapon we're going to talk about is the Glock 32C. The Glock 32C is Austrian made. It was made for the Austrian police first, and this particular handgun was a all polymer handgun that was created for the Austrian police force. They had 17 strict criteria which they followed, but hands down, this weapon has become one of the most favored weapons of military personnel around the world and police officers who can afford them. What I'm going to teach you today is more or less a bit of gun safety behind handling weapons. I have 3 different weapons here that I'm going to show you. I'm not going to load any of them. I'm just going to show you how and why they work, more or less. This particular weapon is they call it semi-automatic. The reason it's called a semi-automatic is because every time you pull the trigger, it releases one bullet, and a small cam inside of it will only let you release that one, and it will hook back in place. When you pull the trigger, it releases that one and hook back in place. Therefore, the semi-automatic part of automatic. The automatic part comes in that there's no additional need for you to reload bullets every time you load a bullet. True enough, you don't call revolver semi-automatics, mainly because it has a cylinder that revolves. Point taken. But in this particular semi-automatic, it has one safety feature. It has this little bitty trigger guard right there, this little trigger thing. It doesn't look like much, but believe it or not, this gun will not go off unless that is depressed. The reason being, there's a small little catch in the back. You can barely see it. See that little triangle piece back there? When you depress it, it goes up and it lets the trigger go all the way back, therefore releasing the firing pin and letting it touch the back of the primer. There's that little thing back there, the little circle back there, and the bullet goes down the barrel. Extremely dangerous. But the reason this is called 32C is because it's compensated. Compensation in a weapon is, most weapons, when they fire such a violent up kick that this up kick causes the round to go all the wrong way. Therefore, you put these 2 ports there, which direct the fire, more or less the pressure, up to kick the barrel down. That's 32C. This is called a slide lock. This little thing right here, you can barely see it, is what you use. It's one on both sides. It's what you use to take the barrel off. If I had more strength, I would show you how to take the barrel off. Semi-automatics take magazines, clips, ammo holders. I use the word magazine. This one's loaded because I never carry a weapon that's not loaded. This particular weapon is called a 357 SIG. And what a 357 SIG is, if you look at that small little crimp, it's a 40 caliber round stuffed. It's a 9mm round stuffed in a 40 caliber casing. Very deadly round. My next weapon that I'm going to show you is the 44 Magnum. The 44 Magnum came into production kind of late in life, believe it or not. It was first produced in 1955. And it sold for $140. That's a crazy amount for one of these now. One of these now will run you anywhere from $500 to $700. It has 5 different grain sizes for the rounds. Grains, that goes by grain size. The grains are inside this capsule, this cartridge with this bullet kind of pressed in there. So when it releases, when the pin fires, it releases, and all that pressure is built up, and that's why it goes so fast. It goes anywhere from 1,282 feet per second to 1,325 feet per second. That's pretty fast. It's extremely fast. This is a revolver. Being a revolver, it revolves every time you fire. Every time you pull the hammer back and fire, another cylinder revolves in front of the firing pin to let another one go. There are pretty much no similarities between the two weapons, except for the fact that they do have hammers, firing pins, and barrels, and they shoot bullets. But other than that, this right here is, to me, a more accurate weapon. It's also compensated. This is a little bit more accurate weapon than the Glock is, because you have more time to shoot what you have to shoot, and you won't be in that practice of trying to rattle them off as fast. 44 Magnum was first designed to shoot bears. It's an elk class pistol. What that means is it can shoot all the way up to it. It can shoot and kill an elk with no problem. The 357C would have a devastating problem trying to kill an elk. You probably put about 10 or 12 rounds into it. My last weapon that I'm going to show you is one of the oldest rounds in the U.S. military. One of the oldest rounds. And that is the Model 1770. Model 770 Remington 30-06. The Remington 30-06 came into existence in not the Remington 30-06, but the 30-06 caliber weapon round that's used for more than several different kinds of. It's used for 5 different kinds of bullets, 5 different kinds of weapons, and it has over 18 different kinds of bullets that can be fired through the 30-06, from tracer rounds all the way to the grenade firing rounds. This is different from the rest of them. This is a bolt action. What I mean by bolt action is the bolt of the weapon, what holds the firing pin, the firing mechanism. Actually, you have to pull it back for each round. This particular one is loaded by a magazine, like the semi-automatic, and these are the bullets that they fire. These particular bullets will go anywhere from, oh my goodness, these particular bullets will go anywhere from 3,500 feet per second to 2,400 feet per second. So it's a very, very fast round. It's a high kinetic round. This is one of the only weapons that has a true trigger safety, to where you can move it up and down and it'll put it in safe mode. I'm sorry, this is the trigger. This is safe right here. This particular knob right here releases the bolt all the way down, so you can take the bolt out for cleaning, and puts it right back in, and it's closed down. That's my speech today. I apologize for the phone. Obviously, my wife's trying to call me and let me know something. So, thank you for your time.